Hello farmers, and welcome back to Pichonniere Valley on Farming Simulator 25. Hopefully everyone's having a good Monday so far, and you guys had a nice weekend. We are in the month of May, and well, just looking around in the past 5 or 10 minutes or so, the only thing I got left to do here in May is fertilize our grass and alfalfa fields. Then I think it's on to the month of June and see what springs up then. We may actually have a couple fields to harvest. Actually, probably just one field. I think barley comes before wheat. But that's what we're going to be starting off with today. Hello, John. Miles, welcome. But if you missed the last stream here on Pichonniere Valley, yeah, we spent a little time over here putting down a cow barn, a nice little shed for all of our bales that we're going to be storing in there. Actually, we're not going to need that many bales to be stored in there, but that's what the shed's for. We ended up getting ourselves 20 milking cows, and slowly their health is starting to go up. It's up to, well, 21%. We just got them like a couple of in-game hours ago. So not too bad. Milk is starting to pile up. I say pile up, 43 liters, and manure, slurry, all that kind of stuff. So we'll be buying some implements for using the slurry and the manure, also the milk. I'm not sure with the dairy production if I want to buy the small dairy production for the first year or so. I just remember on Riverbend Springs when we saw the small productions, it just didn't seem like it was worth it. I mean, yes, you're going to get some product out of it, but it is just a slow process. It does make you wonder, why did I bother? So let's fill up with some fertilizer. Don't have a whole lot of cash left because we spent it all on the cows. So now we're down to just a little over $2,600 in the bank account. Let's go ahead and fertilize our grass fields because they are needed to be fertilized. And I was just looking at the score, precision farming score, and we got 3 fields that did not register the nitrogen. Seems to be an ongoing issue that I'm having with precision farming where, yeah, sometimes it registers the nitrogen, sometimes it does not. Hopefully the update in a couple of days will address that, but from what I saw in patch notes, does not look like it will. But you never know. Maybe they'll fix something and it will fix precision farming. I have no idea. But let's go ahead and fertilize the grass field as best we can. Now, obviously, this grass field is a little bit smaller than it was before. But that's okay. Yeah, it does not seem like the cows are going to take a whole lot of food. So we should be able to keep up with them. Right now, we're just going to be feeding them silage. But of course, once we get ourselves a TMR mixer, we'll be making ourselves some TMR. That way the production goes from 80% up to 100%. Alright, and then get the small strip just down the middle. Somewhere in here. Yep, there we go. So our farm is starting to get a little bit more character to it with the shed and cow barn over here. I did find, because I do need to put down another shed in the yard because we are running out of space for parking. I did find a bigger shed for us. It's not that expensive. I think it's just under 20 grand for it. And it is part of the Pichonniere building pack. I don't know how I missed it last time. I thought the mods would be kind of clumped together. So when you go to sheds, all the mods would be one right after another. But this one seemed to be further up from the others. So I think that's why I missed it last time. Because we did buy ourselves a trailer for transporting some eggs and whatnot. And also would be a good parking spot for our bale trailer as well. Because the sheds that we currently got are not that deep. So the trailers tend to stick out quite a bit. Hello, Clemenza. Hope you've been well and you're having a good Monday so far. So over the weekend, I did get a chance to post a City Skylines 2 episode. I also got the ATS video out yesterday. This morning, Shamburgo was released. So just in case you didn't know about those recorded episodes, they are out there. And the Wednesday Shamburgo episode is also posted as well. So if you're a channel member, you'll have access to that. All right, these 2 grass fields are done. Let's move on to the alfalfa field. And like I said, I think we're done. As for contracts, there's no good contracts out there. So, yeah, let's move on to June. Heat wave in West New York when it reached 22 degrees. Yeah, up here in the Northeast, it's been... I mean, yeah, we hit 20 degrees. Yeah, the last handful of nights getting down to in the negatives. I think it was Friday night. I think I hit negative 18 Fahrenheit. Even last night got down kind of cold. Got like negative 9 or 10. But... you know what? It's middle of winter, so what do you expect? I'd rather get the cold temperatures at this point rather than snowstorm after snowstorm after snowstorm. I'd rather get the cold temperatures, thank you. Because cold temperatures, I don't have to go out and move snow around. If it just keeps on snowing, then that just means more work for me. So this field here, in case you also missed it, this is now our alfalfa field. And maybe today we'll see, because it does seem like it might take longer than 3 months for the alfalfa to mature all the way. It is ready for harvest in one growth stage, which is different from grass. But yeah, last time we cut it where we thought it was full, the alfalfa was not blooming after 3 months. Lake Erie actually froze over. That's when you know it's getting kind of cold. Yeah, those lake effect snows can be can be something. Hello, Panther. Welcome. Hope you had a nice weekend. Why are you not spreading fertilizer here? Interesting. So as we also learned that the only way to actually make alfalfa silage is you have to use the alfalfa silo bunker. You just can't take alfalfa and wrap it in a bale, and when it ferments, it doesn't turn into alfalfa silage, it just turns into silage. So, but yeah, I don't know if I'll get to make actually alfalfa silage. We'll see where we go further on down the road here in Pichonniere Valley. Hello, Mighty. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm going to need to find a contract in June that can give us some cash, because we're not going to get any cash inflow until at least August, when we cut the grass again and sell some silage. So yeah, we'll keep on doing some contracts, but hopefully we can just hire some workers to do that while we're working on the farm. Punxsutawney saw his shadow. Well, don't know what that really means anymore. All I know is today the sun is out and it's looking pretty good outside. That's all I know. Let's go day by day. Hello, Lindsay. Welcome. Alright, so that is the grass alfalfa fields fertilized. Yeah, farmyard is starting to look a little bit messy again. Hopefully today we can put down the third shed. The one that's going to be difficult for me to park, like always, is the new dolly trailer that we purchased for moving our pallets around. All right, so yeah, I think we're all set here. Yep, that's looking good. Like I said, the cows... wait, I don't have to go up here to see their feed trough. But the cows should be good on their feed for a couple months. So yeah, this is a kind of a problem I'm having here. So yeah, this field here did not register the nitrogen last time we harvested, and neither did these two grass fields. So yep, that's hurting our score a little bit, but we're still getting a 10% bonus. But I wanted to come in here just to show you that currently with the 20 cows that we have, and I filled about half of the feed trough up with silage, they're good for almost 4 months. Alright. Let's go ahead. We'll speed up. You know what? Let's not even bother. I would say speed up through the rest of the day, see what's for sale, but I got $2,000. What the heck do I expect to buy? Absolutely nothing, so... Yep, let's just sleep. Let's get on to the next month. And hopefully we got a field to harvest. Not that it brings in money harvesting that field. Let's see, that field is a no-go. And... that should be our field right there of barley. That is ready for harvest. Let's just make sure we visit and see what's going on here. Yep, our barley field is ready for harvest. Good, good, good. Sale page, nothing there in particular that we are looking for. So, contracts to start the day. There is a cultivating contract and it pays rather well. We can do that. Let me just double check some other things first. Spraying. Spraying we will do as well. Yes, except that contract. Hopefully it works. Where is that one? I will find it on the map in just a minute. Let's see. Okay, so well, I said the cultivating contract. We'll accept that one. And I can do one more. But that's all we're going to be doing. All right, so the John Deere 3650. So, can I put the weight on with the front loader being on? You know what? Let's just take off the front loader because that's just going to be problematic. Let's go ahead and put it down in front of the plow. So yeah, we need the weight on the front. And grab the sprayer. That should be plenty. We do need some diesel, I think, so... Not herbicide. Can I get it so it's just the tractor and the trigger? Diesel. There we go. Alright, so this needs to go... Oh, they're right next to one another. Oh, okay. That's where that is. Spraying contracts with precision farming, if they work, pay really well. Especially if you got yourself a see and spot sprayer, which we do have. Just noticed there is rain in the forecast. Okay. Well, right now it's sunny. See, I don't know if I have any really set goals for today. We're just going to go ahead and farm and see where we get to. But I would like to get the extra shed put on down. Now, luckily, I don't have to worry about crop destruction on other people's fields. Well, the weeds are dying off. So the question is going to be, though, is it going to register on the contract? Now let's go ahead and get ourselves a course. Number of headlands, no. 2 is fine. And 2% overlap, yeah, that's fine. And generate course. And no, you're going to the inside lane. It is working because it's up to 1%. Hopefully you're on the starting course, 26 minutes. That's probably where it needs to be. But yeah, 2% done. So that's good. Again, how much are these contracts going to pay me in total? About 20,000. Not bad, not bad. All right, so we need a cultivating, the cultivator. Let's put the Fent on the cultivating contract. And we'll grab our combine and header and go do the barley harvest. Throw on the beacons. Yeah, the $2,100 that we have, that should be enough to pay the workers to get these jobs done. And then these 2 jobs here should be able to afford the other third shed. Although I probably should check the sale page to see if the TMR mixer that I want. So I'm looking for just the one particular one. And we'll see if that's for sale. Tedder, windrower is something else that we could need, or are going to need for making hay. Okay, get ourselves another course. Let's turn off the beacons. Temporary course. Field work. 3 headlands. And this should have no problem getting right up to speed. And about a half hour to get that job done. Which is good because that's probably how long it's going to take me to harvest the barley field. Yeah, let's go ahead and see. What time is that rain going to get here? Oh, not until the afternoon, so we're fine. Oh, yeah, also, still no tornadoes in the forecast as it shows. I'm not going to get fuel because we should have plenty of fuel. Okay, so how much milk did our cows make overnight? 1,400 liters, which is not bad. They made a good amount of manure. Oh, yeah, I also do want to test the manure. Yeah, I want to take our trailer in there and see if that will refill, or is it going to have to be done by a bucket? If it needs to be done by a bucket, that's going to be a tedious process because buckets don't hold that much. So what I would do is probably put down a manure extension, and that way we can just get it from there. This is just a friendly neighbor's grass field, so we're going to turn our header around here. Unfold the combine. And it should still be on swath mode. It is. Then once we get full, we'll grab the Mercedes in our trailer. And yep, all this winter barley is going to go into storage for the chickens. But I think now that we got a full chicken pen, that we can really get a good calculation of how much feed we need per year for them. I'm thinking with our 2 fields that we're harvesting, maybe we'll do 1 field of just wheat or barley, depending which one. And maybe we'll also plant some canola for next year. Or at least a crop that we can just harvest and sell. I mean, I could just sell the wheat and barley that we have. Or we could try one of the modded crops for the map and just harvest that and sell it. A couple of them we did on New Hope, those crop types, but there are a couple of extra ones on this map alone. already 42% done with the spraying contract. Again, using very little herbicide on that. So basically I'm getting paid $10,000 just to put a little bit of wear and tear on the tractor and probably spend about $100, $200 on herbicide. Yes, John, I did look at Squirrel's live stream for a little bit. I do remember that game, or being notified about it. I'll have to take a longer look at it. I think I'm having a personal problem with games right now. I just can't seem... There are so many games out there, but I can't really see one just yet that says, oh, I can't wait to play that one. I'm just kind of like hemming and hawing over a lot of games. I was also kind of hoping that over the weekend I was going to get an email about one of the Park Ranger games, because there are 2 of them coming out in the next, well, month and a half. And one of them comes out in a couple of weeks. It's just a matter of when do I get access to it. So I was kind of hoping that would be this week for that one, but I haven't gotten yeah, it's the publisher that's giving me the key, and the developer isn't quite ready for it, I guess. So we're just kind of on hold for that one. I really had some good high hopes for Sky Harvest, but I was having fun with that game for like the first... Did I do 3 or 4 episodes on Sky Harvest? Well, the 3 or 4 that I did. And yeah, it's just unfortunate of the way the game is currently. I logged in yesterday to Sky Harvest because there was been a couple of updates since I last tried it, and now it's just completely unplayable for me. I log into Sky Harvest and all I get is a top-down view of my character, and without even touching anything, the camera's doing a 360, just constantly going in circles, and I can't stop it. So yeah, that game, I might have to restart, maybe a new save file, but I've been told that's causes problems because when you restart, all the trees, rocks, and everything at your grandpa's farming area, if you harvested them already, when you log into a new save file, they're not there again either. So this makes it even worse. So right now I have no access to rocks to make more ingots. I have no access to the flowers. I purchased the map for 10,000 gold, and I can't get it to do anything. So yeah, I think Sky Harvest, I'm not even going to bother with it until there is a huge update on it. But I feel like I made some progress in the city skylines. Felt like the episode I put out Saturday, we've improved a little bit of things. But man, my city is kind of a mess, as one would expect, for not playing City Skylines really before. My city's starting to get big enough to where I need to start making districts. And the workers, utilities and all that, I gotta start making so they'll only work in certain districts instead of just going everywhere. But there are a lot of games that are scheduled to come out in the near future. Like I mentioned, the 2 Park Ranger games we'll be having a look at. Hillshade Farm, I'm looking forward to that, but that got pushed back from January now to April. Farmers Dynasty 2, do I dare say, they made a post a couple weeks ago that there is a private playtest coming out for it. So I guess they're still working on Farmers Dynasty 2? Question mark. But actually, I think I'm looking into it. But I think tomorrow, and it just kind of slipped my mind completely. But I think tomorrow I might get back into SnowRunner. I kind of forgot about SnowRunner. The reason why I forget about SnowRunner is most of the games I play on are I go through Steam. But except for SnowRunner, because when SnowRunner first came out, it was only available on Epic Games. So I kind of forget about that app every once in a while, and I was like, oh, SnowRunner. Because I think they just released another season. So we may have a look at that tomorrow. Alright, so we are kind of full. Let's put the pipe out here. Let's find our Mercedes. Actually, I should log in, but I don't think I would actually do an episode. I might do an episode if it works, but not a live stream of Roadcraft. My Roadcraft series is just on hold because I still, last time I checked, on the 2 DLC maps, I cannot complete them. The first map, I still can't. The 2 side missions. I got 2 more side missions I need to do on that map, but they're not there. They're not showing up. I don't know if I need to do something to activate them, but I guess some other people are still having that issue or had that issue last I read. And also on the second DLC map, there's an infrastructure road or path I need to do, but that is bugged. I can't do anything with it. Some people said you got to restart, and I was like, I don't want to restart and do all that just to get that far, so I'm hoping that Saber can kind of come up with an update to where it fixes the issue. Which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, that's where I currently am with games. It's like I can't really find one. I'll look at a game, I go, it's kind of interesting, but it's either, you know, maybe the graphics aren't what I would like to be, and it's like, I'm not going to enjoy doing that. There's some other games, I'm not sure, I don't know. I'm still loving Farming Sim 25, even with a couple of bugs that it has. But I don't want to just keep playing only Farm Sim 25 because I'll get burnt out on it. Then I'll have no interest in this either. Granddaughter tipped a glass of water over her PC. Luckily, all she killed was the PSU. No food or drinks around around PCs. That's why it's good to put your PC case up on a table. It shouldn't be on the ground anyways. It should be up on a table. And kind of I don't want to say away from everything, but definitely away from where you put your glass of water, whatever, on your desk while you're playing. Don't put them on the floor either, yep. But that does remind me, my PC probably needs a good cleaning. It's been about a month and a half since I cleaned it. So, yep, we'll be saving the straw. One for the bedding for the cows, and of course also for adding padding to the TMR mixture. Kind of good. One good thing about wintertime and having a gaming PC is I don't want to say it's free heat, but just save on your heating bill a little bit. There's a deer wandering through our barley field. Is precision farming registering the nitrogen in this field? Hopefully it is. Alright, so that's registering today. That's good. Actually, while we're kind of on the topic of cleaning your PCs, the one thing that many people do, and I told a few people about this, and they did not know about it, is when cleaning your PC, a lot of people will take compressed air and just spray it around and get rid of all the dust, which is fine. But the one thing you need to do is zip tie or have a way to block it so that when you're using your compressed air to clean your PC, is make sure that your fans don't turn. Because basically all your fans are DC fans, and those fans, when they rotate, actually are like generators, and if they spin too fast, they will actually send back to your motherboard too much voltage, and you can short out your motherboard. So be sure to, when you're cleaning out your PC and you're using compressed air, yeah, make sure your fans aren't turning, because you can blow out your motherboard. A lot of people always say it's static electricity from the compressed air in the air, and that's what shorts out the motherboard, but more than likely they did not stop their fans from rotating, and when they were using the compressed air, the fan turned way too fast, which sent back too much voltage back to the PC, the motherboard, and shorted it out. And that is our barley harvest done, which is kind of a perfect timing because our spraying contract is just about done. Better to unpower the complete unit. It doesn't matter if the whole... You could have the unit completely unplugged from the wall with everything. When the fans turn, they are like generators. They will produce their own electricity. So you can be completely unplugged and everything. The fans are going to send voltage back to the motherboard. That should just auto snap. There we go. Contract finished. But we'll bring the combine back to the yard. Get the Mercedes back to the yard. We'll put the barley into the silo. That does look really good up there. I like how that cow barn and that shed are looking there. It looks pretty good. Did I check the sale page when I woke up here in June? Can't remember if I did or didn't. I think I did. Don't think there was anything there. I'm pretty sure if I did look and there was something there, that'd be my priority right now. Let me just double. Yeah, okay, yep, that was. Don't need that stuff. Stop spraying the field because your contract is done. All right, since we're in here, we'll bring this back. Where the heck am I? All right, got it. Let's go ahead and collect on that one. 10,826. While we're over here, is another spraying contract available? No. Now, other than the stuff that we need for the cows, which is a TMR mixer, a tedder, and a windrower to make hay. Oh yeah, also a tanker for transporting the milk. Oh yeah. And there's more. Slurry sprayer and manure spreader. But other than that stuff, the next big purchase, I'm trying to figure out if I want to buy a field. Or do I start saving up for... well, either the dairy production or the oil factory, which are both over 300,000 apiece. Now, we haven't had that much money since I got the reward for returning 200 fish. Hello, Bob. Welcome. Hope you're having a good day so far. Mercedes, and we'll dump this into the silo. Actually, I'll top off the chickens, and then we will grab the baler and get this straw baled up. And yeah, with a full chicken pen now and about half the chickens laying eggs, we can see the eggs are they're piling up. Seen videos on YouTube showing how they can generate electricity. Most fans today have protective diodes with too high RPM and it doesn't matter. Yeah, because if the fan spins way too fast, it's going to blow the diode anyways. And yeah, then back to the motherboard. There are protectors, of course, but it's like buying a power surge protector for your outlets. Yeah, it's going to help, but it's not 100% effective. All right, let's grab the baler and we'll take care of that straw. Hey, Ronnie the Rooster was back there. So also, yeah, our cows should be reproducing now, right? Wrong button. Yes, they are reproducing. Size bales am I making on this map with the straw? Oh, that's right. I did change the size of them, didn't I? We're at 124s now, so these should be 20,000 liter bales, not 10. That's all right. It's going to be a mess the first time I get around to making some TMR, because not since Riverbend Springs, which was a year ago, have I made TMR in a mixer. We've been doing it in silos and such. Alright, Clemenza, enjoy the rest of your day at work as one can. Appreciate you stopping on in for a bit. So I turn here, just barely. Yep, that cultivating job, that should help us get the other shed. Oops, too busy reading chat, and even though the beeper on the baler was going off, like always. I ignored it. So far we got 2 bales, getting ready for a third, and should be able to make a fourth. I think we're all set on tractors for now. Especially after we upgraded that Fent. That was, that Fent may seem like a little bit of an upgrade, but the gearbox alone is what makes that tractor so much better. Almost went back into the baler. So maybe we'll put some canola in this field for next year. So that means in August, we'll put that down, and in September we'll put some winter barley probably back where the wheat field is. Not going to empty out the straw here because I think the next field will be ready next month, and we'll harvest that field before we get to harvesting our grass and maybe alfalfa. Alright, let's just park that right there. Let's go get the Fent. And we will collect on that contract. $9,396. So hoeing contract can't do. Mowing we could, but none of them are really good, and no other good contracts there currently. A little bit of a ditch there. Actually, I think this field to my left was one I was looking at in last season. I mean, it is going to cost $160,000, so there's no way I'm going to get $160,000 by the time that field's ready for well, before they harvest it. But what we do need is a third shed. And we got the money to do so, but I need to take care of some stuff around here. If I just actually park myself right here. Let's see, where is that shed I was looking at earlier? I think it's up this way a little bit. Or not. Nope, not that one. Ah, this one right here. It says small garage. But for us, that's kind of a big garage. So I think if I were to put it like over here. So basically, from that big oak tree, I think it's an oak, maybe not an oak tree, maybe an elm, up to those trees there. I got to flatten it out. All right, let's go to here. We'll grab this. And we'll straighten this. And let's just grab it like right in the center, and we'll flatten this out here. Oh wow, that's a big incline going up that way. Didn't think that was going to be a thing. Again, get the shed in, and then we'll fix the terrain around it afterwards. Again, I do have free landscaping turned on, like always. Because landscaping can be expensive. Okay, where did my shed go? Overlaps with another object. What is it overlapping with? I have no idea. But we'll just hit that button there. I don't think there's any trees protruding into the shed, but there is. We'll take care of it. And, yep, we'll throw that down right there. Alright, back to landscaping, smoothing. Let's strengthen that. And go to there. Game seems to be lagging just a bit. Alright, we smoothed it around. Got a little bit of a hump there, but that's not too bad. Okay, we do have a branch kicking on in. But I can remove that with a chainsaw, just a limb. I don't want to remove the tree. And there, that looks good back there. Now it kind of breaks up the yard a little bit more. Gives me plenty of room for driving trailers and such through the silo. And room for them to go in through there. So that all works out pretty well. Let's grab... Well, all my tractors are pretty much in use. We'll grab the Fendt just because. So even though we're going to be using these, everything I'm getting ready to park away, we're going to be using them again in just a few minutes. Let's go ahead and just start parking things in here so I get a rough idea of how it's going to be. That is not as tall. All right, I'm starting to get a feeling for Pichonniere Valley sheds that the front end of the shed is not as tall as you think it's going to be. Yeah, I don't know how the dolly trailer is going to get in there. But I mean, the dolly trailer will fit. It's a matter of me backing it in. Is this going to get underneath the roof? No, it is not. I mean, what I can do is use like a landscaping tool, and I could dig out the area in front of the shed to get it in, but oh man. I mean, I suppose because there's enough room in the shed, because those trailers aren't going back far enough. Wait, what am I stuck on? Not sure what I'm stuck on. There we go. Interesting. We just like park that like so. Yeah. Does anyone want to back this up for me? This is why I usually end up getting like a drive-through shed kind of a thing. So when you got like dolly trailers, or when you have a big header with a dolly on front, you just got to kind of pull in straight and you're good to go. So if you just go slow. And yes, I know there is a mod on the mod hub that will lock the dolly trailers in the front. Alright, or you could just brute force it and back it up once it's kind of straight. And then straighten it up a little bit. Yeah, brute force it in. Okay, we're going to call that good enough for now. All right, that's in. So it opens up these sheds a little bit more. And I'll leave the cultivator out because might need that. I mean, of course we'll need it, but I mean very soon. I did check the contracts, right? Should be nothing there. Yep, nothing really to do there. So I think we're all set to, I guess, get on into July. ATS 158, Driving Academy 2, you have to back up Double trailers? Nope. Nope. I can do single trailers. Double trailers, no thanks. Yeah, let's go ahead and fast forward. So I'm back down to 3,700 after buying that shed, but the shed is something we needed. And I will keep my eye on the sale page. A spraying contract. So there's a spraying contract. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not like, oh, I need to go do that one. It's not paying that much. All right, let's just go ahead and get through the end of the day. And nothing but a trailer. Again, I can't really afford anything anyways. So July. Grass fields will be ready to be cut. Is the alfalfa field ready to cut? That's kind of the thing that we talked about last stream as well. All right, first thing we'll check the sale page and a whole bunch of stuff in there. But nothing that we need at all. Let's visit the alfalfa field and see what that looks like. Is it blooming? So, no, it is not blooming. So we're going to wait another month on the alfalfa field. So, yeah, I guess from what a few of you said, that on other maps, alfalfa is just like the grass. Every 3 months is when you probably want to harvest it. But these are not blooming yet. So it's going to be longer than the 3 months. Is our wheat field ready? It is. No rain in the forecast. So we can either harvest the wheat first or we can harvest the grass first. Well, we just did a harvest, so let's go ahead and cut the grass. And I think I will use... Yeah, we'll use the 3650 for that. So just the 2 small grass fields. Alfalfa field, probably next month. Oh yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on the chickens and make sure we don't we don't overfill. We are going to overfill that at some point this year before we get to November when eggs are going to be sold. That's going to be full before then. Oh yeah, while I'm doing this, I looked at the sale page but did not look at the contracts. So looking for big numbers here. Baling for 24,000. Nope, don't do baling contracts. And that's it. So, is it swath dropping or where am I at here? Swath mower. It helps if you lower the mower. Say hello to the ladies. So this silage here, because we got plenty of silage for the cows, we will bale all this up and we will sell it all next month. We don't need to keep it. And the selling of the silage will fund hopefully some of the equipment that we need for the cows. Alfalfa is ready dark purple. It didn't look like it was blooming to me. I mean, the field is dark purple. Because that's the color for alfalfa. Unless you're talking about the flowers themselves. Because that's the way it was last time I harvested the alfalfa. That's the way it looked. In 22, I think the alfalfa blooms, and maybe that's what I'm comparing it to, was more prominent than it is now. But if that's the way they look in 25, that's when it's ready, then fine. Then it was ready, it was fully... Well, then it was last time as well, because that's the way it looked the last time I cut it. I just remember on Goldcrest Valley with the alfalfa, the flowers were more prominent. At least that's the way I remember it anyways. Alright, so I guess we are cutting the alfalfa today. Alright, so we'll cut these 2 grass fields, then we'll harvest the wheat. Then we'll go harvest the alfalfa. We got enough silage to feed the cows in the shed until the next cut in October. So yeah, all this grass alfalfa that we're cutting will be sold. Just remember, when I wrap up the alfalfa, it's not going to turn into alfalfa silage. You got to use the modded bunker to actually get the alfalfa silage, and I'm not going to be doing that. 1, I can't afford it right now, and 2, right now I don't want to. So those are my 2 reasons. But the alfalfa silage is worth more than this regular silage. Hopefully by recutting the grass fields, is it registering the nitrogen this time? It did. Alright. Hopefully when we harvest that wheat field, it'll register. So at least today we got down another shed. We'll see how the yard looks when we get done today and I park everything away. How it looks. But the yard is slowly coming together. Don't know if we'll need more sheds. I may need a shed for the cow barn to park in, like the slurry sprayer, manure spreader, TMR mixer, tedder, windrower. See how it looks when I drive back into the yard. I think that shed's going to break it up a little bit. Actually, it doesn't stick out as far as I thought it was going to into the yard. So it does kind of blend in. Oh yeah, I want to get rid of that limb. Can I? Oh, we can. Let's cut that. Like right there. And then we're just going to... Oh, I probably got to turn on super strength to get rid of this, right? There we go. That worked. Was that the whole limb? Well, I know it's the whole limb, but was that the one? No, I think I need to get rid of... Well, nuts. I don't want to get rid of... Well, I'm going to have to cut it. Well, I'll see what happens when I do that. Okay. Can I... Don't want to accidentally cut down the tree here. Oh. So let's get this over here. Gotta find the magic spot. Oop. No. It doesn't want to go. Oh, there it goes. And then... Kind of hard to see, but I think it's this branch here. Alright, that's not too bad. At least for now. I may clean that up a little bit more later on. Do I like the graphics of the game? Yes, the graphics of the game are pretty darn good in my opinion. Okay, let's go harvest some wheat. I probably should look at the calendar just because I know the days or the months, the calendar was changed a little bit for the modded crop. So is the canola still August, September for planting? It is. And then, of course, we'll plant winter wheat or barley in September. So that's going to be all the same. So we should have plenty of feed for the chickens for a while. I don't know, I'm just debating with myself, is it going to be worth it? Because I just remember the small dairy production on Riverbend Springs. Yeah, it's cheap to put down like 35,000, but it just took forever to produce anything. I think I'd rather just take the milk that we get from our dairy cattle and sell it until we can afford the big dairy production. Yeah, I do realize the alfalfa, when it's green like that, is stage 1 and 2. When it gets the flowers on, it's ready for harvest. But am I wrong in thinking that when I played on FS22 on Goldcrest Valley, that the flowers on the alfalfa was much more prominent when it was ready for harvest? And in 25, it's... yeah, you can see it, but I was expecting to be much more purple. More purple flowers than it is showing. I think that's why I was questioning it last time when I harvested it back in April. I was like, oh, it doesn't seem like it's blooming yet. They're there, just it's a lot smaller. Probably more accurate, though. Well, it's all I got to go by is FS22. I haven't done alfalfa in 25 yet. So we did take a good amount of hail. Well, I say good amount. We got a couple of spots, so 3 spots of hail damage in our wheat field. I think the wheat is harvesting or yielding better than the barley is. Let's go ahead and park this here. Let's go get our Mercedes. Or whatever. Alright, we'll use the Fendt. Alright, so it's nitrogen being registered here. It is. Good, so our score now is jumped up, so now we got an extra 3% on selling. If I had anything to sell. The silage that we do have, that's staying for the moo cows. And nothing else will be sold today. Speaking of the moo cows, yeah, we're almost at 4,000 liters of milk. Manure is piling up pretty quick. Yeah, I gotta remember to see if I can get this trailer in the cow barn and see if it'll refill, or am I gonna have to use a bucket? From what I read, the trigger for the manure in the cow barn is not high enough for trailers to work. But only one way to know is bring that trailer in there, if I can get it in there, and we'll give it a go. Actually, I'm not going to fill the trailer with manure. I'm just going to bring it in there and see if it shows up on the helper HUD, if I can fill it. Because I don't want to fill it up with manure in the trailer because I don't have anything to do with it other than, I guess, sell it. Oh, I did find myself some slurry sprayers that we're going to be using here, so I got that taken care of. Obviously, nothing that we need right away. You spend more time in 22 than 25. Do you not like FS25 and you prefer 22, or is just no reason in that? I haven't even booted up FS22 since 25 came out. Hello, Jay. Welcome. Hope you had a nice weekend. Yeah, the winter wheat seems to be yielding very well. Hello, Benji. Welcome. Hope your Monday is going fabulous. I think the winter wheat may be the way to go. trying to get to a sulfur mine in Farming Simulator 25. A sulfur mine? Sounds, for a minute there, I thought you were going to say you were playing out of ore or something like that. Yes, I did quite understand that would be a mod. If Giants puts in mining like that into Farming Simulator, be like, you know what, you guys should come up with a different game for that. So looking at the farmyard, a couple things we do need, even though we have access to it. We need to put down a diesel tank. I mean, I don't mind getting the diesel from Omatana's hut, but I think we got to make the farmyard look like a farmyard. So we got to get ourselves an actual diesel tank. But it's not a priority for us. Something else we could use for the farm at some point also, we will be upgrading our farmhouse. I mean, we've gone from a tent to a hobo hut, so eventually we'll have ourselves a lovely little house. And at the other end, again, hopefully we got room for the mayo production. Mini dairy to make cheese is 132 cycles per month. 264 cheese per month. That's not... So it's going to take 4 months to make a pallet. I'd rather just sell the milk. Honestly, it's such a slow process. I mean, yeah, I'll make more money by making the cheese. It's just that by the time I make enough cheese out of small dairy production and get my money back on it, I'll probably be able to afford the bigger dairy. So yep, this is going to be our last field that we harvest this year, unless I take on a contract, but as we know with this combine, taking on good contracts, it would take me forever to do those kind of harvests. can see in this field how the yield is going. Try to buy nothing but the best fields around here. We're getting a lot of wheat off this field compared to what we do for barley. I think we got 15,000 liters of barley, and we're going to be over 20,000 liters on the wheat. Yeah, I probably should mention, and hopefully it doesn't happen, but twice this morning I did lose power for a little bit. I'm not sure why I lost power. It's a nice day outside, so power company must be working on a couple of things. So if I just happen to abruptly disappear, that would be why. And the thing is, the power, both times it went out, was only out for about a minute and a half, so. But it's a beautiful day outside, so I'm not really sure why, but I guess maybe they're just fixing something on the power lines. Yeah, our chickens are going to be well fed now for a while. In the beginning when I got the chickens, I thought I got them too early, but looks like the timing was just about right. Now we got more than enough food for them. So yeah, definitely will plant some canola. And we'll start storing the canola, so that way when we do get to the oil mill in the distant future, we'll have some to throw right in there and we can start making that. I'm not sure if I can get the rest of the field into the combine. The trailer is full, by the way. My next field purchase, well, seeing that I'm only at $3,000, I mean, there are fields out there we have our eye on, but it's going to be a while. On a small farm, on hard economy, you're not going to be raking in that much cash fast enough. Just keep buying field after field after field and equipment after equipment. And we got some equipment that we kind of need to purchase. Luckily, it's not expensive stuff, but a tanker so we can sell some milk would be good. But I think the fields I was looking at, they're going to cost like $170,000. So we got a ways to go. But again, this point of this series here is to just take my time. It's not a matter of rushing to make money. Yes, You still want to make money, but I'm not in a hurry to, like, let's hurry up and make the money so we can do this or that. I think I'm going to get the rest of the field into the combine. Maybe. Again, this combine doesn't hold a whole lot. I mean, 8,000 liters is still pretty good. So yeah, if you're just here for the first time on this series here, we have some restrictions. No tractors over 200 horsepower. So we can get a tractor with 200 horsepower, nothing over. Combines, no combines over 250 horsepower. Cannot take out loans. And we cannot lease or borrow equipment from the store. So if I just want to do a quick job and say, well, let's just go lease it and we'll return it. Can't do that. We can do contracts, but of course it has to be with our own equipment. We can't borrow on the contracts either. And we started with nothing. No land, no equipment. Absolutely nothing, and here we are. Actually, what is our farm worth? I know we hit $1 million not long ago, which is pretty good. 1,172,675 is currently our farm value. Yeah, we're just getting to the point now where I'm not doing mostly contracts with our equipment. We're starting to get enough to do on our own farm. But while we're working on our own farm, we are taking our tractors that we're not currently using and getting workers to do contracts for us. And of course, we are not on the starting farm on the map either. Alright, so the combine, like I said, I should be done with it for the year. Saved yourself about $50,000 by getting this combine on sale. The exact combine I wanted to use for the series came up for sale. It's like, yeah, we will take that. Dude, always with a pressure washer. Yeah, so that's unloading there. We'll leave that engine running because why not? Because fuel's cheap. But let's finish up the straw baling that we were doing last month in the winter barley field. And let's get the winter wheat done, and then we can empty out the baler and get started on making some silage bales. Hello, Crystal. Hope you had a nice weekend. Loving the series. Glad you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying playing on it. kind of making me stick to the smaller stuff for a change. Yep, Crystal, that was the storm last week I was kind of telling you about. I know the parts of the south were going to get it. I think it came up the coast, but I'm too far inland. So we had nothing but pretty much sunny weather all weekend. Cold weather, but it was sunny. My weekend was pleasant. I spent it inside, staying away from the cold air. Although I do go on the deck every once in a while just to take it all in. Although if I went outside today, it'd feel like a heat wave. It's gotten up to about, it's 21 degrees out, so it's gotten above 20 degrees Fahrenheit for the first time in about 10 days. These bales are 20,000 liters apiece. We'll put them all in the cow shed. Obviously I don't need this many, but I guess I could just keep them in stock, and when I need them, I need them. Don't fall on that side. Alright, luckily the baler is still working somehow. Then after we empty out the last straw bale, we'll go to our 2 grass fields that we just cut. And we'll get those baled and wrapped, and we'll then jump back into the 3650 and go cut the alfalfa. And then we'll bale and wrap that too. Remember how the yard used to look with just Sam's doghouse and my little tent? It's nice to see the yard coming together. That's why I always like starting my own farm instead of mostly starting with the starting farm, because you get to design it your own. I'm not saying I'm great at designing farmyards, but it's nice to see it come together. Alright, got enough straw in there so we can unload. So just fling out the back. Alright, let's go make some grass bales. I gotta get rid of that cobblestone that's there in that field. Because originally that field there I thought was going to be our farmyard, but I then changed my mind. So probably should buy, I guess, the TARDIS Bowser first so I can sell that milk. Start getting my money back on the cows little by little. Want to make sure I drop that kind of in the field. I almost dropped it if I kept on going. Where we have an entryway into the yard. Oh yeah, I'm going to keep forgetting, so I better do it after I do this. I'll probably forget in the next 30 seconds. Get that trailer into the cow barn and see if the trigger is going to be close enough I can load up the trailer that way. Better do it after I finish up this field and move on to the next one, because I will forget. How many bales have I made so far? 350 bales in total we have made. Actually, probably made a little bit more than that because we had to update the save file. Okay, just turn it off, the baler for the moment. Leave the engine running though. Let's go grab our Fendt and trailer. Oh wow, so in order for me to do this, I'm going to have to... Luckily this is not a dolly trailer, because this would... I would not even try. Okay, now I just need to angle a little bit better here. It's going to be tricky to get in here. Open? Is there another way in? This is where the cows go out to their, if you want to call it a pasture. But I think this is... Alright, okay, so I can't get in there from that way either. Yeah, this is going to be the only way in here. Now again, I did put in this stone wall because there's a cliff over here if you want to call it a cliff. This part here is part of the cow barn. Okay, we're in, kind of. Luckily, you can't run into the cows. Imagine if you really had to wait for the cows. Alright, so we put the helper menu on. Yes, so we can fill up a trailer with the manure this way. So the question would be, though, I'm sure it would work. So again, I was on the Mod Hub this weekend looking at some stuff. So where do I got to go for this? This is going to be... So for slurry tankers, I found probably be using this one right here for 61,000. Yes, it's expensive. Well, I don't want to say it's expensive. But this does have the John Deere manure sensing. And the working width is, it holds 18,000 liters of slurry and 9.4 meter wide working width. So it's pretty good. This is going to be just for our grass fields, alfalfa fields, kind of a thing. So that's going to be our slurry tanker. And as for manure spreaders, there are a lot of choices. I did not find anything. Is there manure spreaders out there for precision farming? I could not find any. I don't know. There's none in the base game either, so I guess you can't spread manure with precision farming. So if we want to spread manure, I found this mod on the mod hub. Holds 16,000 liters of manure. I could put the extension on that. That brings it up to, for $600, I'd probably put the extension on it. But yeah, we'll probably use that manure spreader. But we'll get into that. I'm sure that will fit in here. Now again, for these cow barns on the Pichonniere Valley pack, if you don't want to have to deal with going in there to get your manure, if you put down a manure extension silo, it will just fill up in there and you can fill it up a lot easier. But I want to try to do it this way for a while. But the good thing is, yeah, I don't need to fill up with a 2,000 liter bucket and keep doing it that way. You would just drive straight in, then just inch your way to turn around to drive out. I mean, yeah, I could probably drive straight in and then circle around the cow pasture, get back in and get out. That will probably work. All right, leave the fence right there because that's in cover. Nope, my 3650 is over here. And while I was in the store, I was going to see how much that tanker is because I always forget. Is it down here? No, it's under. It is under the Bowsers, right? Barrels. Yes. 10,000. That's all it costs. We'll have that money to sell some milk in September. Okay, let's get this turned around. Why didn't I collect the manure after going in there? Well, one, that's my grain trailer. So I don't want it in my grain trailer. Two, I have nowhere to put it. I mean, I could have went and sold it. But right now I'm just going to go ahead and let it stockpile. And if I need to empty it, if it gets too full, then we'll have to empty out, sell it with a grain trailer. But for now, we're just going to leave it there. Because again, it's not that full. I probably should look to see how much it can hold. Let's see, manure. So, yeah, we're at 6,000. Probably like 70 or 80,000 liters of manure it'll probably hold. Slurry looks like it'll hold quite a bit. But yeah, for now, I'm not going to put it into the grain trailer because I have no place to put it. sure I dump that there. Don't want to put it in the way of the swath I'm getting ready to do. So again, all the silage that we're making today, we're selling in August. When we do the next cut in October, we'll probably be saving some of that silage. I don't think we'll have the money yet to be able to afford a tedder windrower and TMR mixer, so the cows will probably be getting fed silage for the first year. Meaning their production will be only at 80%, but 80% is still pretty good. Alright, let's go park this down by the alfalfa field. I did check in the morning, but let's see if any contracts have come up. I mean, like I said, 15,500 of winter wheat. So I could keep the winter wheat extra off of that, but I'd just be babysitting my harvester because it only holds 8,000 liters, and that's a big field. It would take a while to get that contract done. Yeah, there is a plowing contract, but yeah, I think no contracts will be done this month, looks like it. Yeah, so at a distance, you just can't really see the alfalfa blooming. But once you get a little bit closer, you can see the flowers on it. So, yeah, just not as purple as I remember it in FS22. I know. To stop saying about 22. And why alfalfa? Well, it does yield quite a bit better over grass. It does remind me, though, I probably should switch over the other two grass fields to alfalfa at some point. Just too bad that when we wrap the bales and they ferment, it doesn't stay as alfalfa silage. It just goes over to silage because alfalfa silage is at the peak time of year, because it does have a peak time of year for that compared to regular silage, is on hard economy $40 more. So on silage is 120-ish, and alfalfa silage is like 160. But again, as I mentioned earlier, the only way to get actually alfalfa silage, we have to use the modified silo bunker, put the alfalfa in there, compact it, cover it, and it'll stay alfalfa and turn to alfalfa silage. Possibly further down the road here in the years on Pichonniere Valley, we will do that, but for now, we'll just take the better yield on alfalfa and just make it as silage. I put a race motor on that. I'm not sure what you're asking or saying there. It lost me completely. If we're talking about the cutting speed, that's the normal cutting speed for the batwing mower. 16 miles an hour. Alright, Sam, stay in the cut areas because you get in that tall alfalfa, it's hard to see you. You learned something today. Should learn something every day. If you don't learn something every day, then what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Maybe something simple that you learn, but you should be learning something every day. Forgot how many bales I get off this field of alfalfa now. It was like, with the grass field, it was like 12 or 13, but I think with the alfalfa, I get like 15 or 16, I think. Getting all my numbers mixed up with Shamburgo grass field and now these grass fields. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Some people say there's a woman to blame. I just blame Sam. Sam's good for that. And definitely, well, at least I know the difference from when it was grass to alfalfa. You can see now the swaths are definitely a lot thicker. You can blame yourself, or you can blame another woman, if that's what you want to do. But as the song goes, as he says, it's my own damn fault. So I guess you're blaming yourself anyways. Anywho, alfalfa field is cut. Now let's bail it on up so when August comes, we can get some moolah into our bank account. Are all of our chickens adults now, or do we still got youngins? No, we still got, well, just 4 of them. Just 4 of them are not producing eggs, but the rest of them are. And along with Ronnie. Ronnie the rooster is not producing eggs either. But next month, all of our chickens will be spitting out some eggs, which I'm going to have to start moving around in the near future. Okay, back into the Mercedes, and let's go ahead and get this wrapped. The thing that sucks about this a little bit is you can see as we do pick it up, it does classify it as alfalfa, but when it wraps it, it does not recognize it as, well, it'll still say alfalfa fermenting, but when it ferments, it's not going to say alfalfa silage, so that kind of just sucks. Actually, I am wondering when it does drop it, what does it say? So it just says alfalfa and it says fermenting, but when it gets done fermenting, it'll just be base game silage. Again, we need the modded silo bunker for that. So I guess if no contracts come up after I get done with this job, we'll probably feed the cows just to be sure, but I think the cows are good for another month at least. But it looks like we might be getting right into August, and we'll be planting some canola. Hello, Gamer Gramps. Welcome. Hope you had a nice weekend and you're having a nice Monday so far. Crystal, it's not the baler. The baler is fine. The baler does recognize it as alfalfa, because you can see in the bottom right hand corner it shows it as alfalfa, and I just showed the bale. When it spits out the bale is alfalfa. It's the base game switching it over. So I guess no, because then you would have to, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to modify that. Yeah, it would definitely have to be a script to modify when the bale gets unloaded. No, it's not the map either. It's when the bale transforms from fermenting to a silage bale. The base game is just saying a fermented, 100% fermented bale, and it's going to convert it over to silage. The tricky part is you're going to have to put in a script in the fermenting process, which they probably did for the silo bunkers for the bales, because it's not just alfalfa, there's also clover and where are the other ones? It's clover, alfalfa. So if I go to silos, so you got one for clover, and you got one for alfalfa. So you'd have to modify the bales or put a script in for the bales to know that, is it a grass bale, is it a clover bale, or is it an alfalfa bale? And when it gets done fermenting, it'll switch over to that particular crop. Because right now, all the base game is doing is, it just sees a bale at 100% fermented, and the game is then just transforming it over to a silage bale. It's not classified as which bale it should be, so it needs to have the script to say if the bale was alfalfa or whatever, it needs to be converted to this. Because I'm sure that's what the silo bunkers are doing. But that's why they have separate bunkers for clover, alfalfa, and then of course you got the base game stuff. It's too deep for me to get involved with. If I didn't do content creation and do real life stuff, I look into it. But again, the most of modding I do at this point is I'll take a mod and edit XML files, or change the speed of wrappers, whatever. That's as much as I have time to get involved with nowadays. Yeah, at first I thought it was a baler, but the baler recognizes it as alfalfa. And like I said, when it comes out, if you look at it in the bottom right-hand corner, it says bale, owned by me. It says it's alfalfa, 14,000 liters. And it's fermenting. So it comes down to the base game, converting it over to just regular silage. Again, not a big deal. In the long run, the grass fields and alfalfa fields, and they might all be alfalfa sometime soon, is basically there just for feeding the cattle. Not much for selling it. And the alfalfa, as we do know, yields better. So I'm not too concerned about it not switching over. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. This is our 10th bale on this field. And who knows, maybe in the distant future, Giants will put alfalfa and clover into the game. And then it'll be done for us, one would hope. So, right around 12:30 in the afternoon in August, these bales will have all fermented. I think in FS22 on Goldcrest Valley when I was doing alfalfa, I think I was just feeding it to the sheep. I think that's what I was doing with it. And, well, that's a wrap. So we end up getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. This is our 14th bale. Albeit not a full one, but same with the grass field. I think I was getting like 11 full ones and the 12th bale. So about 28,000 liters more because we put alfalfa here instead of grass in liters. Alright, so can't fertilize those fields until another month. Got to let it regrow. Again, the straw bales will pick them up in a little while. Yeah, I think we're all set to go through the end of the month. Unless something has come up for huge contracts that would be worth doing. But it's going to be mostly harvesting contracts this time of year. Oh yeah, the cows. They're good for another 2 months. We'll feed them next month. And the chickens are good for another 4.5 months. And yeah, the sale page, unless something really comes up and I'm in dire need of it. Well, I don't have that much money anyways. Alright, let's just go ahead and we'll sleep till August. Let's go. So we'll pick up the straw bales first and put those in the shed. Well, just a butterfly mower, which we do not need, of course. And let's see, while we're doing a whole bunch of work. Baling contract, nope. Plowing for 11,000. That's not bad, but that would take a while. And I need, for the plowing contract, I would like to do the Fendt. I mean, Mercedes could do it, but that's going to take about 45 minutes. If I was cultivating, I would do it because it'd be faster, but I can't get that plow to get up to full speed with anything. We're going to grab the Fendt. Okay, got to get the straw bales first. Because I need to plant some canola. I probably should see, do any of my fields need to be soil sampled? The grass fields do. I might as well do the grass fields, and I might as well do this field as well, because that's not too far off from needing to be sampled. But everything else is looking good. I don't see any bales on that side of the field. Yep, all cleaned out. And got a few more bales in this field, although this is the bigger of the two fields. And since we don't have any straw bales in storage, that's what we're doing with them. And as I found out last stream when I put down this shed, I thought this shed would be big enough, or tall enough, I should say. It is big enough, but it's not really. It's hard to put these. Let's not climb this shed though. Just like the other shed we saw today, trying to park this in there, it's kind of clustered. So this. That tree's kind of in the way, but we can make it work. Maybe. Trying to get as close as I can to the wall, but the problem is when this unloads, the pickup is going to come down. I think that's going to be too close. Yeah, let's not. Well, okay, I can't stop it. So we'll just. I think I'm stuck inside the wall now. Not good. Okay, it's. Oh, this is going bad. I might go flying across the map. And now the bales are not stacked worth a darn. Going as planned. Okay, I know I said no super strength in this series, and like I said, it's only going to be there for sticky situations, and this might be a sticky situation. No, we might get out of it. Alright, let's get the silage bales picked up. Well, they're not silage yet. Any bales? Yes, there is one down here. Of course, we could just unload the bales out in front of the shed and use the John Deere and just stack them in there. I'm trying to use all of the buildings, or just the buildings that come on this map in the Pichonniere Valley building pack. Try not to use any other sheds other than that. May have to, but for now, it's all we have used. Almost forgot there is a bale that's here. Yeah, I should get all the bales on the trailer in one load. This hole's 24. So again, gotta wait until about 12:30 for these to ferment to 100%. Then with the sale of the silage here, we'll buy the tanker for the milk. Again, we don't have that much milk, but actually, how much milk do we currently have? I don't think I can go another year with that milk in there. Yeah, so we'll probably sell it. Let's see how the milk is looking. 696 out of 763. So next month, late next month is what it should sell at. The egg price should be good. We got $19,000 worth of eggs now, with more to come. So the farm is making some, as I like to kind of call it, passive income. I mean, we got to feed the animals and we got to do all the harvesting and all that kind of prep work to feed them. But in the meantime, they are making us some money passively. Let's go ahead and park that there. So what I'm waiting to see is this grass right here. Really? I got 112,000 liters exactly of grass? And along with the alfalfa. But it's kind of weird. I got 112,000 liters exactly of grass. But yeah, once the alfalfa and grass are not showing here, that means it's all fermented to silage. So, yeah. But it should be around 12:30. Okay, we need the John Deere and the front loader. We need to go feed the moo cows. And yes, we know you like the pressure washers. Now you're getting in the Mercedes. Can I get in the 36? How about if I stand on the hood or the bonnet? There we go. Right, I'll actually put the weight on the back. I don't need the weight on the back for lifting up bales. Because these bales, even though they're large, they don't weigh that much. Because that's the way the mod works. They only weigh like 100 kilograms a piece. No matter the size. Hit the wrong button. Want to hit the attach button, not the engine cutoff button. Maybe I'll move some eggs around as well. Because the spawn point is getting pretty full. It should take all of that. Floating bales. All right, so they are good for 7 months with that food I put in. And for now, I'm just going to leave the John Deere right over here, I suppose. They shouldn't need no straw. That'd be too much, right? Yeah, they don't need any straw. All right, so the cows are all set. All right, let's grab our drill and we'll go plant some canola. Also, let's go ahead and put this header away. It's dirty enough. We'll clean it. Oh yeah, I was going to move those eggs, but maybe wait until it gets almost full. And you know what? I'm going to put the cultivator away. Which means in about 5 minutes the contract will come up. And I'll have to dig it out. Wow. It's not like it's buried in here, but... That's what kind of way it works on your farm. The second you put something away, 2 seconds later it's like, oh yeah, I needed that. Darn chickens. Get out of my way. Alright, so we want canola. I think I got enough. Got plenty of seed. And I should have plenty of fertilizer. It's going to go through it quite a bit because canola does ask for a lot. I did test about a week ago, whenever it was. I did test this tractor here can pull the 6-meter wide horse Pronto direct drill. So we'll upgrade the drill in the future, or unless it comes up for sale and I can afford it. But a 4-meter wide direct drill for the 2 fields that we got, it's not that bad. So I try to turn around this side of the field and it's not working out well for me. I think the problem is the angle of the hill is taking my wheels off, so my steer wheels are not actually on the ground when I'm trying to turn. So we get plenty of weeds in the field after harvest, but after we get done planting, got very little. I think it might have something to do with it because we got all these wheels on this direct drill. I think when you run over them, they're killing the weeds, so they're not growing back. So I think that's the reason why we're not getting many weeds to have to deal with, which is kind of nice. So there's two things we can do with this canola next year when we harvest it. Both are going to evolve with us after harvesting it just to store it. But we could sell the canola in, I think, November. I think that's when it sells best. Or just keep it in the silo until we get our oil mill. And then we got a whole bunch of canola to make into oil. Because eventually we want to be making our mayonnaise. Because why not? We're in France after all. Hello, France. I guess we'll have to see how we're doing financially and where we are. Because, I mean, I'm talking about 13 or 14 months from now. I'm not going to put it in a dairy. There is a dairy on the map that we're going to buy. The dairy on this map allows us to make some other products. I don't know if it's... I mean, it'll be interesting to do, but... where is that building? There it is. I know it's butter, but I don't know what that is in France, in French. But that's I guess one butter we can do. Also, we got cow's milk. I have no idea what that says. We also got this cow's milk. Yeah, I have no idea. I know originally I said I wanted to get the mayonnaise production going before anything, but I think the dairy production is probably going to be first. Because I just had to buy the one production building, whereas for the mayonnaise, I need to buy the oil production and then buy the mayonnaise production. Experimenting with a loose straw and hay. There's a hayloft mod. all it has is the intake and output. You can put them on like a barn, for example, and they only hold 250K. So I went into the XML and increased the amount by a lot. Well, yeah, if you're doing loose hay or straw, that's 250K is, well, you know, I thought you liked small farms. But yeah, that's not a lot when it comes to straw and hay. I mean, look at the bales we got in the back of our bale trailer. Actually, we do the quick math. So our 2 small grass fields and our alfalfa field, we got like 300,000 liters of quote-unquote grass off those 3 fields. So if I were to pick that up with loose, that would not fit into that hay loft. We'll also at some point probably do some mustard, because that's another thing we can do in the oil production is do some mustard. And I don't know if they changed it for this map, but on Pichonniere, which is another French map I played on about almost a year ago, the canola and mustard look exactly the same in the field. And that map did have a mustard production, but I never got around to it because I did not have the starting farm. We should have a little bit of weeds in this field next month, but I'll probably wait and do it in October, because September I'll be planting our winter barley in the other field. But part of me wants to go back to the winter wheat, because that yielded so much more than the barley. So yeah, I think I'll just put winter wheat back in. The barley, we got like 15,000, and we got loads of winter wheat. Did it classify as winter wheat when I put it in? Yeah, that's 2 harvests worth, so can't really see how much I got, but I know it was more than a trailer. It was a trailer's worth and a combine's worth. Increase the amount to 5 million. You can't be playing on a small farm then. Should be doing it all with your hand tools that you wanted me to use. I think if I remember correctly, our silo can hold 800,000 liters, so I shouldn't have any problem for storage. And really the only thing it should be storing in the future is the feed for the chickens. Because eventually, like the canola and mustard, that kind of stuff is going to be going to the oil mill directly. Ever use a site in Farming Simulator or just in a game in general? In Farming Simulator, no. In other games, heck yes. Actually, the last time I just used one would have been Ancient Farm. I'm not sure. I don't think I've used one in Farming Simulator. Can't picture where I have. And there we go. We have a canola field. So the drill I will need next month. So let's just plop that there for now. Let's grab the 710. I got to put in some soil samples in those grass fields and the field I am going to plant next month. So let me drop off the fertilizer spreader, which I will need not long from now. But I need to do the soil sampling first. Using the hand tools on your small farm, because small farm money's tight. That's, yes, always is. Until you get well established. Now I'm saying this is a small farm, but it's a small farm for me. What I'm doing here. Alright, so if I do play my cards right, I can get both fields done together. Might be able to do it with just 2 samples. Well, I'll send those in. Probably should have looked up the sampler. Don't want it dragging on the ground. For what little it cost. Let's get this all the way sampled. Alright, I'll just take a third one, I guess. Alright. Let's swap this for the fertilizer spreader. I think I can top off with fertilizer and get those grass and alfalfa fields done. Actually, I'm wondering, is there a workshop from this pack? If I go to construction, be under tools, right? Nope. This is from the buildings pack mod. I think that's what I used on Dark Forest. Not there. As for diesel tankers, I'm out needing nothing big. Probably use this one this time. So I don't think there's a repair building from the Pichonniere Valley pack. Alright. Just trying to figure out the heck kind of graphics was that there for a second. Just trying to figure out for future stuff here on the farm. What happened to that series? It seemed to finish quick. Oh, are you talking about, if you're talking about Ancient Farm, I did pretty much everything that there was to do. I said the final goal was to build a temple, and I built the temple. Are you not taking fertilizer? You are... I mean, you're showing it's going on, but for some reason we are already at what we need to be for fertilizer. Sometimes what you run into problems with early access games, and it's kind of a shame that they do this every once in a while. You'll get something like Sky Harvest, where it seems like there's a lot of content there, which there might be, but there's I'm having so many issues with that game. It's unplayable. And then you also get ones like Ancient Farm, to where I don't think I had any problems with the game. It's just that there wasn't that much content there. Okay, so this field is kind of taking fertilizer, but not really. Well, I mean, we just soil sampled these fields, but yeah, they're not taking that much fertilizer this round. So that's what I'm saying. We'll have to wait and see, as I mentioned last week and a little bit at the beginning of today's stream. There are a couple of park ranger games that are coming out in the next month and a half. We'll have a look at both. But I don't know if I'll be doing if I'll be doing both, and if I'm going to do a recorded series or a live stream on it. But that's going to be kind of hard for me to tell, because I'll be experiencing it for the first time, so I don't know if it's got a lot of content or not. And that's why I don't do a whole lot of demos on live stream, because usually demos sometimes only last a half an hour. So technically, only though, even though we just cut the alfalfa last month, I could cut it again this month. It is ready to harvest the very next month. I don't know what the yield would be off the field, but I guess the good thing about alfalfa is if all of a sudden you're just like really short on feed, alfalfa is always ready to go. So, in about a year or so in game, hopefully we'll be able to fertilize these fields with cow slurry and also cow manure. I think I got this whole corner over here. I think I did. So I think I got everything done before we sold the silage that we needed to get done in August. Soil sampled and fertilized the grass fields and the alfalfa field. Got the canola planted, got the straw bales picked up, put away, kind of. It was a little bit of a mess of trying to unload those into the shed. I like that shed. It's just it's unfortunate that I can't back in from the other direction to unload the bales. Actually, because it does push the bales back, I kind of did that wrong. Shocking, I know. But I should just unloaded the bales from being outside, because the bale trail is going to push the bales back further in every time anyways. And I was trying to get the bales back as far as I could myself. I don't need to do that. So I need to redo those bales. Or at least next time I put the bales in, hopefully I remember I'll get it to work the way as intended, or it should be done. Down to our last $1,000. But pretty soon, in the next couple of minutes, we're going to have at least, I don't know, like 50 or 60,000. Actually, no, probably going to be right at 40,000 still. Because I just forgot that our grass field now has a cow barn in it, so we lost a couple of bales of silage because of that. All right, let's I'll check the sale page just to see what's going on there, because we're getting ready to sell these silage bales. All right, nothing there. And then we'll go to our contract page to see if anything has come up. Only one harvesting contract in August? Okay. All right, let's fast forward to 12:30. Okay, all those bales, I would assume, is fermented. Yes, we don't see grass or alfalfa on the page, so we got silage bales to sell. To the BGA. This tractor has no issue getting up to top speed, even with a full bale trailer. They certainly have made the BGAs really expensive to buy in 25. We used a small BGA on Riverview by Cavalier Roy. And other than that, I think I did buy the BGA on Riverbend Springs, but that was in the last stream. I didn't really use it. We just had the money. I said, I will buy it. So let's see, about $41,000. Yeah, 41,000, almost right on the nose, is what we got for those silage bales. Next cut, though, we will still sell some silage bales. We'll have to keep some for the moo cows. But is this done? Is this us done in August? Without any contracts really coming up. I see a lot of fields that are ready for harvest. I'm surprised there's only one harvesting contract. All right, and it looks like they did harvest the field. So this field coming up here on our left, right here, is one of the fields that I was looking at. About 160,000 for it. I think the yield in that field's like 105% or so. Also, the starting farm here is not too bad because there's no AI traffic to deal with. All right, now I'm going to put this on winter wheat because the yield was that so much better, and I'm just using it to feed the chickens. Did I go buy it? There we go. Well, I'll just do one more quick check for contracts. But yeah, I don't think any good ones are coming up. The spraying contracts are good. Cultivating contracts are now good because we got 2 high horsepower tractors that can handle it pretty good. But yeah, boy, should I be moving some eggs? I think we're good for one more month, but next month they will need to be sorted out. Take one more last look. All right, let's not go through the entire month because I do got some money. So something could come up for sale. So we'll go to the end of the day. And nothing. Good time to go to bed while a thunderstorm rolls in. Before Shamburgo. Oh yeah, and Pichonniere. I did have the BGA and Pichonniere as well. That is correct. We didn't run out of space for eggs, but we're awfully close. Awfully close. What do we got for sale? That's the slurry spreader that I want. At 64% off. That is the one, right? Does not have the John Deere manure sensing. No, that's not the... No, this is the other one. That's the... I was like, boy, 64% off. That should be... Or is that the one? There's 2 separate ones I downloaded. So now I got to check here. Slurry tankers. So it must be this one. That's the Flegel. This is the Pomat. Alright, so it's the Flegel. I was like, how is it half off, more than half off, and still... this one's not bad either. 12,000 liter capacity, working with the 15, needs 155 horsepower. So capacity is 12,000 compared to... So this one holds more slurry than this one. But sometimes it makes you wonder where these stats come from. So this tanker holds more slurry, but the working width is... So it holds 6,000 more liters in this one. But the working width is 5.5 meters smaller. And it requires 180 horsepower to run that one, but the wider working width only requires 155 horsepower. Well, yeah, the one that's on sale does have the John Deere sensing, but so does this one here. That adds it for 8,500. How much was it adding it to the one in the sale page? That adds... Why is this one? Oh, probably because it charges... It's by the working width, so you got more sensors on it. For those that do slurry spreading, is 12,000 liters, is that going to last me a while on grass fields? I mean, I don't really need a wider working width. But I mean, I could get it for 47,000. And the one I wanted, if I had to buy it brand new, that would cost me almost 70,000. But I can't afford, currently I can't afford to put the sensor on it. But I mean, I could buy it and just customize it later on. BKTs. I don't know what that... Designs are nice, but does it do anything different? I don't think so. $500 for a decal. What's a fill arm? I mean, the fill arm would look nice on it, but we don't need it. All right, so I think we will buy this just because it's still going to be cheaper. My grass field, the only thing I'm kind of concerned about is the working width. It might be too wide. It's going to be a pain to get some of the grass field, the small grass fields. Alfalfa field will not be bad. It should. That's a lot of slurry. 12,000 liters is a lot of slurry. Yeah, the last time I really used slurry sprayers was, you know, on big maps. So I was using like 30 or 40 meter wide working width, so it'd go through the slurry quite a bit. So we'll have to get the John Deere manure sensing afterwards, but it's on sale. So, well, crap. I kind of wanted to buy the $10,000 tanker, but we can still do that. Okay, let's go ahead and just buy this the way it is. But BKT tires on there, please. Thank you. And other stuff, we can change it out. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just buy it. It'll save me money in the long run. The full arm on the slurry is what is filled up. Yeah, I know it's what it does to fill it up, but you don't really need it to fill it up. Okay, I thought I was going to be selling some milk first thing. Of course, I didn't check the milk prices. Milk, 7.56. So, yeah, the milk price is pretty good. But I don't have the money to buy the tanker now. Egg price, unfortunately, is not really that good. I mean, I could sell some eggs, but what's the sense? All right, so there's got to be... Is there... Let's see, I need like $5,500. Oh, we got some big contracts. Got some big contracts there. All right, I think this is what we're going to do. Yep, we'll accept that contract there. Baling, another cultivating, deadwood, harvesting, mowing. No, that sucks. All right, so just that one cultivating job. Where is that exactly? All right, so it's when I go up to the main farm, take this dirt road, and that'll get me up to field 103. Mercedes is probably my safe bet. Crystal, I'm not allowed to lease or borrow items on this series. No leasing or borrowing on this series. We gotta own it to use it. So what we'll do here is we'll get this on a worker, and between this stream and the next time I stream Farm Sim 25, I'll get more of it done, and when we start the next stream, we'll be able to collect on it, and then we'll be able to buy our tanker, our Bowser, to help us sell some milk. Just want to see, do we have a lot of weeds today or this year? Yeah, I got very little weeds in the field. Well, I'm glad I didn't buy the... Whoops. Need this turn right here. I was thinking about buying the tanker before I went to bed, but it's like, yeah, just don't buy it till you need it because you never know. So it wasn't the exact slurry tanker that I wanted, but it's very close to what I want to use. I'm just a little concerned about the 15-meter wide working width for the smaller grass fields, but we'll just do what we can do with it. Oh wow, this road is bumpy. Is this the field here? No. Alright, let's get one of Frank's on the job, and I'll see how long it's going to take to do. Field work settings. You know, I'll leave it at 4 headlands. I was going to say 53 minutes, and that's what came up. But since I didn't say it out loud, it does not count. When you mean mod the truck, you mean the cosmetics, or are you just talking about paint schemes? If you're talking about paint schemes, is it Mod 2 Studios? I think it's Mod 2 Studios is what you'll need to get in. Well, at least that's what I've used on my paint schemes, but I haven't done a paint scheme in a year and a half, so I don't know if that's still up. I think it is. That's a good place where, that's where I used to do my paint schemes at. But as for like cosmetics and stuff, that also may work, but don't go by too much what I say, because I don't do a whole lot of modding on my own on ATS anymore. Alright, so this contract will hopefully be somewhat done when we get back here next time. That'll pay us $14,000, and we'll buy our tanker. And Yeah, so we'll have to get this contract done before we can go sell our milk, which is going to be at the dairy production, which we want to buy at some point. Selling the milk is pretty much going to pay for the tanker almost. How much slurry we got? We actually got 15,000 liters of slurry already. If you're talking about modding everything on an ATS truck, then I don't really have anything for you because I've never done that. So, yeah, I'm not sure who you could ask on that. Where to go mod, because I don't know who really mods trucks. Maybe, I don't know if Farmer G does. I think Farmer G plays ATS. He does mods for Farming Simulator. I don't know if he does modding on ATS, and he might be able to tell you some good things, possibly, but I don't have anything for you on modding trucks. I just did paint jobs, and that was it. Oh, we got telephone poles in this field, so I hope, well, I'll probably have to help him out on my own at some point. But also while that's going on, I could come over here and we'll plant the winter wheat as well. So, yeah, we might be just planting the winter wheat at the beginning of next stream. And that work will keep on going on over there. But they're already 10% done, so that's getting done rather quick. We'll have to move the eggs because we're out of room for that. And yeah, we'll get to use the sprayer. Well, I should be able to use it right away because I need to upgrade it for the John Deere sensing. But you guys got enough manure already, which I'm kind of surprised at. Not manure, but slurry. So I'll have to see how that goes. But I think that's going to wrap it up for today with that contract going on. We're getting to like my normal stream length time, and I got a couple things I need to get done here before it's getting to be February here, and it's kind of nice to look outside and being 4 o'clock in the afternoon and having the sun still outside. So I need to go outside and get a couple things done. But yeah, as for tomorrow's stream, like I said, I haven't checked my emails or not. Actually, let me check them while I'm talking to you, because maybe something will change as of right now. Let me go through the emails. Okay, no. All right, so nothing on the Forest Ranger stuff. But tomorrow we might be streaming SnowRunner. That's a possibility, but subject to change, of course. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to wrap up for today. I'm just also going to check before we head off to see if anyone is streaming that I can send you to. If I click on the right buttons here. Oh, FS Farmer is live. Haven't seen him in a while. So if you want to stick around for a little bit more farming, just stay right here and you'll be sent on over to FS Farmer. I hope. I hope that's... The thing is about rating on YouTube, it just takes forever, which kind of sucks. But yeah, that's what we're going to wrap it up for today. Stick around. I'm going to send you off to FS Farmer. He's farming on, I believe, Judith Plains, it said. So you can go watch him do some farming. But tomorrow, we might be doing a little bit of SnowRunner. But I'm going to jump out of here. Just a reminder again, I did release an episode of Shamburgo earlier today. Yesterday was ATS. Saturday, you had an episode of City Skylines. So on and so forth. But appreciate everyone being here. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Have a good start to your Tuesday. And hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. But until then, have a good one.